Yo, everyone, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be going through things that pros do that you probably don't do. Just general things from kind of how they warm up to how they approach the game, just basically everything that I've noticed in my, I would say, decade of playing competitive Call of Duty. And I think this video, the reason I wanted to make it is because I do a lot of coaching. And a lot of the times I think people underestimate the amount of work it can take to get really good at the game. And this is kind of a common theme that I found where I would coach a gold player and they get a bit frustrated, you know, like, oh, but I'm playing and I'm just not able to get out of gold, you know. And I think the biggest issue they have, from my experience when communicating with, you know, probably hundreds of people at this point, is they all do a similar thing. Okay, and the way I look at that is, if I have 50 people doing the same thing, right? Let's say they're all spending 30 minutes on this same thing. They're likely to have similar results. In order to become better and actually overtake other people, you're probably going to have to do a little bit more, okay? So that's what it really comes down to. So I'm going to make this hopefully as easy as possible to digest. You could honestly take this advice from whether you're in bronze right now, you've never picked up a controller in your life, or a keyboard and mouse, and you just want to start playing, and your goal is to become pro. Or if you're in gold or diamond or iridescent, whatever level you are, there'll be something here that you can digest and hopefully take away and add to your game. Okay, let's get into it. So starting off with number one, I think this is, I want to use this as the first basis because I think it's something that not only is important, I think it will make you feel a bit better. So I want to start with a positive, make you feel a bit better, okay? And I'm going to use a little yellow pen here. One, okay, is just purely time invested. Okay, when you look at a pro and you look at their decision making, their gun skill, all that stuff, right? It can sometimes be a little bit demoralizing because you're like, oh, you know, like, I don't think I can get to that level. Like, and I think you have to look at this, and I know esports is a bit of a weird gray area where you don't compare it to real sports, but I want to use the comparison here, okay? If you actually look at a real, let's say a basketball player or an athlete or a football player, something like that, right? Whatever sport you may be into or watch, okay? And you look at the pros there and the actual athletes there, you wouldn't really expect to compare against them because you're like, you know, this is their job. They put hours a day. They have the best training, best resources, best facilities, best everything, right? And I think people kind of miss the boat when it comes to esports, where they think that they are doing the same as the pros, you know? So people are like, oh, but like, you know, I'm watching shots here and like, his movement's so good, but like, you're trying to copy someone that has a level of understanding and mechanics and hand-eye coordination and ability to just really take over. And I want to actually show you something on what I just saw. So this is the clip I got in a Crimson lobby. Chat, listen, I was him. I was piecing, okay? And this is, again, I'm going to kind of go back full circle, but this is a moment right here. In this scenario, okay, I'm against a decent player, probably a diamond crim level, and it's about chaining this as many times as possible. So what you're seeing right now, I get this first kill, so against a crim, I get this second kill right there, and now as I turn around right there, okay? Okay, now this is where I would say the levels come into, okay? Because right now, I have a clear plan. As soon as I see him, as soon as I see this player, okay, I have a clear plan. I think, and this is down to your play style, most people right now would move their crosshair right and just start to shoot. Now, this is another thing about conversion, okay? If you're, let's say, bronze right now, by the time you look right, your actual centering and reactions and your aim is going to be a bit too slow, where he is probably going to snap and kill you, okay? If you watch someone like Shotzi right now or Mercules, they'll be able to just snap and kill him. But this is, again, about when the idea comes into your brain, so this is your head right now, when the idea comes into your head, and the execution, that's kind of a big deal. And the more reps you get at doing something like this, the more kind of second nature it's going to get. So right now, this is my brain thinking, okay, what do I want to do? I actually want to get into cover. So I'm going to get into cover as I'm sliding, okay? Very important. Why? Because I don't want to fight this guy. I actually want to disengage to give myself some options. So like, as I'm sliding now, I'm like, no, don't cancel. Get into cover. Okay. Now, he doesn't know where I'm going to go. So now I shoulder right. Now I've looked to the right. He is stuck there. He's basically played his card. He's gone prone, so now I'm going to go to the left. So I'm actually going to go to the right again. I could have done anything, but I'm going to go to the right again, get some shots off, and back away. Now I know that he's a bit more weak. I would say he's maybe, look where my health is. You see my health is around there. I would say his health's around there, okay? So now I know, technically, he is probably 1 or maybe 2 shots max, or I'm about 3 to 4, okay? So now I know I have more health, so what do? I go left, slide, and get the kill. Now that kill right there, the reason I'm stopping to show you this, okay, is because I can do this kill against a Crimson player. I've done this. I've showed you this right now. Where the repetition comes in is repeating this 100 times, 1,000 times, okay? There's been times where this happens to me here, and I maybe slide, and right now, I maybe slide out too much, or mess it up, okay? But the point is giving yourself constant feedback. Now, for me, where it really comes down to, and the reason why I wanted to make this video about comparing to the pros, is because I can do this once. If I fail to do this now, it's up to me to repeat this and repeat this and repeat this and repeat this and repeat this, right? When you watch the pros play, it's not that they do one thing better, it's that they do the same thing thousands of times with consistency, okay? Just like anything. Again, let's use I've been playing tennis recently. If you guys know in my stream, I've been playing tennis, okay? Hitting one good shot isn't impressive. It's cool. It's like it's a moment, right? But where someone, like I would say my cousins, right? Let's say who's better at this stage of the game. It's about who's making less mistakes. Same thing here in COD. So right now, this play I've made isn't a mistake. You see, it works out, okay? So me doing that one play isn't impressive. It's not like groundbreaking, but if I can make that play every time, if I can consistently do that play with less mistakes, right? That is what makes you a better player. That right there, the less mistakes. So when you watch the pros, it's not that they're doing the fancy shit all the time. It's they're doing the simple things and they're making less mistakes with them. Okay, so that's number one. Is make less mistakes, be less fancy, just less mistakes. And I kind of spoke about time played and stuff like that. Another thing is about how we're actually investing our time. So when you watch a pro, okay, I want you to really understand a day in the life of a pro. Okay, this is the hours that they're putting in. Okay, I'm gonna do it right here from the time scale. They will have, I don't actually know the actual hours, but this is roughly from my, you know, just from seeing them on stream and talking about it. And don't take this like to the exact second, but take the rough point, okay? They'll have like, let's say a scrim from like 12, which is like noon, okay? And they may scrim till like 6 p.m. And what that means, okay, so for people that don't know what scrim is and stuff like that, right? So what this means is from 12 to 6, they may have 2 sets of scrims, 2 scrims. Okay, so what that does, what that means, I really can't write in this, but that just assume that's 2 scrims. I know it doesn't make any sense. So what that may be, let's just use Optic because they want. They have Optic Texas. What they'll do is they'll play, for example, for set 1, they may play Ravens. Okay, and for set 2, they may play Thieves. Okay, so everyone has 2 sets. So what that means is probably from 12 to 3, they'll play Ravens. From and then 3 till 4, maybe take a break, or maybe like 12 to 2:30. Again, hours doesn't matter. Let's just use 3 hours for that. Then let's say they take half an hour break, get lunch, whatever. I don't know. Then from, let's say 3:30 to 6, they do their second set against Thieves, okay? And what happens in that set is they play every single HP map. Every single map. I believe twice. I believe. That could be wrong. They used to be twice. And then every control map. Okay? Let's just say that's how it is. I don't know if it is, but let's just say like that. Let's say it's control once and twice, okay? So now if you just pause it right there. I'm going to pause the video right there so we can concentrate on this, okay? Most people that watch this video, most people that are trying to get better, you guys are playing from maybe 7 p.m. till say 11 p.m. Maximum. That's assuming you've had a nice, you know, you're getting that nice grind and you may have an after work, after school, whatever, that grind, okay? And in those 4 hours, you are just playing the game because you enjoy it. During that 4 hours, you're probably getting, you know, between 7 and 8, probably getting 3 good rank play games in because of like, you know, someone might leave or this or that, or one might be a hack or whatever. You're getting 3 solid games, right? Then let's just say you're getting 3 for 4 hours. You're getting 12 games, okay? You may have 12 rank play games a day. This itself is just step number 1, okay? So, sorry, I had a phone call, so I kind of lost my thought there. But yeah, the point is like you're getting 12 rank play games a day, right? It's just not enough practice compared to what the pros are getting. They're getting 4 hours of like actual solid scrims against people that are really good, against the pros. So they're kind of just getting better and better and better. They're watching the VOD. They have a coach with them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like their practice is just going to be at the next level, right? So the reason I'm making this video again, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but it's like, it's more, if anything, I want you to just kind of just let yourself actually kind of like feel, you know what, okay, this is actually okay. Like, I'm actually in good progress considering the scenarios. I think that's the biggest thing I wanted to take away from this is like, I think people are a bit too harsh on themselves, and that's coming from me, who's very kind of, I'll say, strict as a coach in a good way, hopefully. But I like to make sure people are very efficient. So for me, in those 4 hours you're playing, my biggest goal is, I think what people should be focusing on, again, I don't like the word should as well, because everyone can do what they want, but if you're trying to improve, my biggest thing is during those 4 hours is really, really, really making the most out of that. That's the biggest thing. Okay, so now we're going to go through the next bit. So that's kind of at the time played. So now we have a general idea of, you know what, the pros are actually putting in hours, right? This is before anything. Like, this is like they're just putting in those hours, and then this is where the extra shift comes in. So when it comes to champ season, sometimes what pros do, they'll have like a third set. So they may have a third set, and what that third set could be, okay, so third set of scrims, it could be maybe S&D against AMs, so against top amateur players, or it could just be a third pro set against whoever, right? So this is kind of the extra grind during that month of practice. So during champs time, they're probably getting like maybe 8 hours a day of actual competitive Call of Duty scrims, etc., right? And then they go home, they have their dinner, family, whatever, right? Everyone's got their own routine. And then you see the streams, okay? Then you see, I've seen Draza, I've seen him playing Chows. Okay, so I always see Draws online playing Charles. I see Shotzi playing 8s. I see Shotzi playing Merkley's grinding rank play, Hook grinding whatever, right? I see these guys playing, and this is, you have to remember, this is another thing I think is super important. When we see these guys play, this is at the end of their day when they've already shot or played for 6 hours. They've studied the game for 6 hours. And when you play for 6 hours at the top level, it's different to playing rank play for 6 hours in gold having fun. It's a very different game. Okay, you're playing at the top level, you have to be on it. You're not just sit there with music, like they're coming properly, like they're in full flow. Okay, I'm just gonna, bro, this was a disgusting game, so we're gonna back it down. We're gonna back it up. Sorry, not back it down, sounds really weird, but we're gonna back it up and go through it again. But this was my PC days. Now I'm on a PS5, but it's okay, we're gonna move on. Oh, this feels so clean on a PC, bro. It feels so clean playing it, but you know, the hackers were getting too much, so we did move to PS5. Anyways, yeah, so they're streaming now. So now, and then this is the thing I wanted to really speak about, chat. I want to look at Dashi, because this is the guy that I would say has one of the cleanest shots in COD history, okay? And I really want to just talk about this for a second. I want to look at Dashi and compare what he does to what other people do, okay? Now, we don't know how many bots he shoots before scrims. I'm going to assume, just on what I've seen from him, I'm going to assume, let's just say 300 plus. I would say it's probably more. Okay, let's just say 300 to 500. There's definitely a world where he does more, okay? So let's just say he's 300, no, let's say 500, because bro, this guy can shoot bots. He loves it. Every time I watch him, he shoot bots. 500 bots, okay? Then he plays for, let's just say, 4 hours. Again, this is not including studying the game. This is 4 hours of gameplay. So we're going to say GP for gameplay against top players, okay? Now, when you play top players, you're going to be a bit more snappy. You're going to have better shot in general because you're just having more kind of advanced gunfights. You're getting passive learning. When you're watching people play, you're getting passive learning, like different spots, different mechanics people are using. You know, you're going up against the best of the best. So when this guy's fighting scrappies, oh, like watching the kill cam now, like, bro, this is just an example. Like when I'm watching this kill cam now in the Crimson lobby, I might watch this and say, okay, what happened? Oh, he slid down. That looked pretty good. Okay, so he slid down the stairs very fast on my screen. Let me see how that looked on his screen. Let me watch this. Okay, so on his screen, he went through, he aimed down sight, he let go, he slid to the left. Oh, that felt good. Okay, so just from that, for example, I may passively learn, oh, that's a good play. Let me try it. So you're getting better from passively playing. He's shooting the 500 bots. And then when he streams, you know what I see? And this is what I mean. Well, you know what I see when he streams? 500 bots. We don't even get to see this bit. Whatever I just showed you in the box, we don't even get to see. We don't even get to see that. This is his day-to-day activity that's off stream. This is what we see when he, let's say he's playing Charles, right? We'll see Dashi who shoot 500 bucks, then play some 2v2 S&D Charles. But this is the overtime. This is the extra grind. Now, the reason I use this, okay, is because there's people like Coach that they're like, and I get it as well, bro. You have to remember, chat. Most people don't make money from this game. So for you guys, it's a hobby, right? So you don't want to do the boring stuff. I completely get it. But I think it's just about having the realistic approach as well, saying if I don't want to do the quote boring stuff, that's okay. I can't expect the results from someone that does it. You know, I think it's just, and again, I wanted to make this video for like, it's more for people to be comfortable with that and say, you know what, like, I maybe don't shoot bots. I maybe don't do VOD reviews. And that's okay. But I have to also understand that I'm not going to get better at the rate I want to without doing that stuff. And it's kind of just being comfortable with that. And if you're like, I actually do want to get better, then it is just actively making that extra effort into those stuff. That's kind of the main point of the video, is to show you that the pros they're not just born with like, oh, I've got godlike aim. Like, there's things that they're crafting daily, daily. Okay, so now Dashy's shot 1,000 bots and played for 4 hours against top pros. Okay, this is in one day, so day one. Now I'm going to compare this to Timmy. Okay, so Timmy, so this is Dashy. Bro, I really want something I can actually type in because I'm really bad at typing like this. So he shot 1,000 bots. Okay. And 4 hours against pros. Okay. Now this is just mechanics we're talking about. Then we have Timmy. Now with Timmy, he has played 3 hours of ranked. 3 hours of rank play. We're going to see the H for R, hours and rank play. Okay. 100 bots. Bro, I really cannot write. Okay. Now, of course, the point of this isn't to compare Timmy and Dashy. It's just to show you, if you could change your input, you could work on your output. Okay. So when wherever you are right now, everyone here is a Timmy at a different scale. Some of you may be that Timmy that plays for 3 hours and shoots 100 bots. You're 3 hours in gold. Some of you may be like, no, I actually spend 4 hours playing rank play, and I'm actually in diamond, and I shoot 200 bots, right? The point is the same. There's someone on this scale here. But where I think the difference comes in is just understanding that someone that's at the pro level, they are doing double the input. So they're putting 1,000 bots in and they're playing 4 hours against pros. Now, I don't expect everyone to do this because everyone has work or this or that or whatever, different priorities, right? But it's just that understanding of where the difference comes in. And it is just those hours. Now, imagine this. This is day one, okay? And Dashy's already better, right, than Timmy. But then imagine day 2. Then day 3, then day 4, and then apply this over 5 years, and then you have like Timmy versus Dashy. He won't even be able to kill him once, and that's where the level comes in. Okay, so for me, what I want you to look at this video as is, you know what, actually just have like a kind of a different perspective and say, you know what, like this makes sense in terms of they're going to be better, but they are simply, it's nothing to do with the skill level. Of course they have skill, but I actually want you to look at that as, you know what, just to change your perspective, in my opinion. Again, you don't have to do this. This is what I look at it. The pros are the pros because of the time they put in. I personally don't like the word natural talent or natural skills because I think it makes things seem impossible. Now, I believe if somebody here watches video and put in 5 hours a day into improving, I think in 6 months they will become so much better. And like, you know, so that's why I don't like the word talent or skill or this or that, because there's so many soft skills that come into it. Like, everyone can get better. It's just about how much time you're putting in, okay? So that's the biggest thing mechanically. It's just you have to look at the difference there. And then the next thing, and then this is something that I would say most people watching this do not do. When you watch the pros, one thing they do a lot is VOD, okay? So VOD is called video on demand. And what this basically is right now, you see how I'm watching this gameplay back? I'm not necessarily studying it right now because we're, you know, I'm talking to you guys, but this is an example of VOD review, just from my own gameplay. So 3, 2, 1, start. Let's say it's VOD review. Okay, so right now I'm going through to P2. I'm going to pause this. And what I'm trying to do is just find areas of improvement. So I don't even know what I do here, but let's play this out. And I'm kind of thinking, what could I have done? And what do I do to find the difference in terms of why I didn't make that decision? Or now that I've paused it, I have more information. So the first thing I notice is my teammates are spawning at the back. So they're probably breaking in through the back in the lobby. That means the opponent is most likely spawning around there. On the left-hand side around there, or maybe me spawning there causes a weird power spawn as well. But I'm going to assume they're spawning back there. So let's play this out and see what I do in this scenario. So I'm going through. So I'm actually trying to break it with my teammates. Now I can see there's 2 people dead. So now I'm actually going to pause it and think, okay, Dylan and who's the other one? Zane. Okay, where they're going to my teammate's got 3 kills, okay? There's a red dot on my right, so he should be my right here. So even off that break, I need to look at that and say, hang on, I should have used my minimap a bit more. That's quite silly of me because that could have saved my teammate. In this moment, it didn't really matter. But right there, I should have used my minimap because my teammate would have been saved. Okay, so why didn't I use that? Maybe I panicked in the moment. Okay, cool. So use my minimap. Okay, cool. Now I go through. I can see they're not at well. my opponent is shooting from there. That means in this scenario, they're definitely spawning through the front. Now, my teammate kind of has the front. I actually should watch his lobby right now. So I should stand and watch his lobby. Let's turn around. I should be watching his lobby only. Why should I watch his lobby? Because he has a nasty head glitch on Lambo. He could watch his front door. My teammate should be able to support him. I should probably just chill here and watch lobby. Let's play this out. Do I watch lobby? Okay, so I do watch lobby. No one's at the top. I probably, to be honest with you, you could back away here and watch the bottom because somebody could come from bottom lobby. I don't want to leave this area open, so I probably should back away here. Let's see what I do. Okay, so I actually get a bit more over aggressive. Okay, cool. So I'm going for the pinch here. I don't mind this play, but I think this play would have been better. And you can see right now I left lobby. This would have been a really good play if there was, say, 20 seconds left. Why? Because with 20 seconds left, I actually want the opponents to spawn behind us so we have good spawns for P3. So I think this is a good play with 20 seconds left. But in hindsight, looking at this now, I don't like this play because I've given up lobby, given up lobby, given up lobby. They could have come from bottom. And as you can see right here, I now have given us bad spawns. I need to sneeze. I've given us bad spawns, and guess where he came from? He came from lobby. He probably came from underground, like I saw. So that's actually a bad play for me. He gets a two-piece. Okay, interesting. So I shouldn't have done that. Now I'm by myself on the hill, and it gets a bit more mixy, but I like the recovery. So this is a play I look at and say, I could have done a bit better there. So that is what a VOD review is in 1 minute. So now next time I play this scenario, and I'm around here, I'm going to remember that and say, hang on, I've been here before. Let me chill. There's still 45 seconds left. Let me sit in an off angle. Let me make sure he doesn't come through and let my teammates have that. So that 1 minute I just showed you was an example of VOD review. Now what the teammates, so what the CDL do, what they do, the codcasters, they actually watch it with codcaster POV. If you guys have ever seen codcaster POV, there's like a whole mini map on the bottom left. I'll actually quickly show you guys because I think it's very important to look at. So this is a codcaster POV. So when they're scrimming, this is from the CDL, right? But imagine when the teams are scrimming now. Again, I'll use Optitex. Let's say if Karma and JP, right? They'll probably be watching this because this paints the picture. So right now, imagine if I am Optitex, and I'm just going to give you my analysis right now, okay? So I'm looking through, all right, there's a minute left on P1. Let's see what happens there. So we're going through. So the first things first is kind of 4 being here and 1 being there. They know they're spawning there. So this is how we're studying the game. We're going through, okay, look at the arrows, right. Now, Shotzi and Merkley just died. So for you guys to learn the game, this is another side note I would personally do, is I'll pause it and say, right, where should they spawn? I think, I'm just going to guess here, I think because they're blocking that spawn, P1's always a little bit weird to predict, to be honest with you. I always kind of struggle with it. I would say they're going to spawn around there. I'm just going to predict they're going to spawn there. Let's play it out. So see Shotzi and Merkley's. Okay, so I got it right. So they spawns there. And then you can see they go through and Merkley spawns there. So I actually don't know why that happens. So that's something, again, you can look at and say, right, why does that happen? So the first spawn ends up spawning there, but why does the second spawn move there? What's different? Well, there is a chance that they moved away, so maybe they spawn there. But honestly, for me, this is kind of a weird one to predict. I think the P1s are always weird. So we go to like, let's use like a P2. It's a bit easier because there's a bit more set spawns. P1 has so many. And I could pause right here and say like this is like, as a fan, just trying to get better. I can watch this and say, you know what? I'm going to pause this right now. And I just want to watch this hill and see if this is a good setup. Okay, so interestingly, Hook is watching middle from there. Is this a good angle? Let's find out. Let's actually watch Hook. Oh, okay. So I noticed how Hook watches the right as well. So what could he have done a bit better there? Well, let's watch this. Let's just analyze Hook right now. So he goes through. So right now you can see he doesn't see a boozer. Okay, interesting. So he actually makes the right play. He just doesn't see a boozer. Maybe that's something he could have maybe gone up top in. But I like the way he's watching middle. And he's watching the right. So you see he's trying to watch multiple things at once. Now, at the same time, where's everyone else? So we have number 4. Okay, Dashy's playing Catwalk. So in this scenario, what I'm imagining, I know there's a listening, but forget that. What I'm imagining is Hook was kind of watching middle and the right. Dashy was watching Catwalk. And then number 2 is probably going to either help Hook or watch the front, depending on where the pressure's coming from. Okay, interesting. So when I'm playing rank play now, if I'm the player like Hook, maybe I should watch right, because sometimes I don't watch the right. And you see these micro decisions in my head. This is how I learn the game. Okay, so this is kind of just, again, just a real side note of what I would do to improve, and it is a VOD review. Now you have to remember the pros are doing this VOD review, what I just showed you, they're doing that in incredible detail almost every day, probably every time they stream, they're doing VOD review. That's the quote unquote boring part of the game. Another thing is people think, oh, they just play. Yeah, they do play, but when you're competing at the top level, right, against the best of the best of the best, it does come down to margins, right? And things like VOD review, that's the difference maker. Again, just like in sports, it's about analyzing and studying the clips. And if you guys watch football, there's a lot of I would say like there's some players that are very smart in the game that end up becoming managers, and you kind of always have seen it. So I'll use a player like Xabi Alonso, or like there's some people that people talk about, like Rodri's another example in the current game. I know you guys don't really watch football, but I'm talking European football, but like they study the game a lot, and people like talk about them like, oh, he'll become a coach one day. You know, Wayne Rooney, one of my favorite all-time players, you see it from a young age the way he's adapted and stuff, and then, you know, when you listen to him talk, he just loves football, right? I mean, studying the game's a big part of it. So in Call of Duty, it's very similar. There'll be some players that study the game. Let's use like a perfect example, like the coaches. There were always the players that people would say were the smart players in terms of not smart in like IQ, but like smart in terms of the way they study the game, they thought about the game, accuracy, slasher, good leaders. You know, they're the type of people that would do the VOD review and set up that extra work and stuff like that. So, you know, your Palmers, your Crowders, your JCaps, these players that become coaches, that's the like, for example, Dashi, I don't see Dashi becoming a COD coach. I don't think he would want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, bro, he's one of my favorite players of all time, Dashi. That's not something I've seen him want to do. I think something like coaching and VOD review, stuff like that, that's kind of like, some people just like it and some people find it a bit more boring. And for me, like, again, using the Dashi example, I can imagine him, when he's finished, I would see him becoming a creator more than a coach. Scumpy didn't want to be a coach, right? But then Karma, you see, oh, I want to be a coach. Like, it just does different enjoyments. And I think it really, really helps if you enjoy it, because it's the boring thing to do. So for me, things like VOD reviews, and the reason I'm I always talk about VOD reviews is because I did this in Modern Warfare 2. I recorded my own gameplay. Okay, I did 2 maps a day. That was my YouTube channel. I actually want to show you guys this. Before we end the video, I want to show you guys this real quick. Okay, so just so you guys can see, I'm not like just lying and stuff. Like, if you go to my channel, right, when I very, very first started to get better, what I would actually do is this. I would do live gameplays, like inside the mines, right? Kind of like how I do now. But one of the biggest things I started doing, I want to find a bit of a long one. These are all live, kind of inside the mine. There was a few longer ones. I started actually analyzing the gameplay and doing more attack maps. I want to find where it came from. Even this. It's actually hilarious because of how old it is now, but look how funny this is, chat. This is back then, and I was doing VOD reviews on this. So this 2 years ago, I would study Optic Texas versus FaZe. You can see, right, let me find like a clip of it where I get attack maps open. Do I get attack maps open? Okay, so I don't get attack maps open in this one, but there's loads of examples where I do, and I'm kind of just trying to study the game. I want to find one with attack maps, just to show you guys what I used to do. Okay, so right now you can see, this is what I was learning. I didn't even know what attack maps was, but you can see I'm pausing the video in certain moments. And I'm just trying to look. So I've actually paused this video and I'm talking about my 3-piece. Or what did I was him, bro. Chat, look at me. Optic, since I'm him, bro. I was him. Anyways, so I was talking about Optic, right? I was talking about Optic and like, you know, what they were doing well, things they could do better, And like right here, I would pause this video and pause it and understand, like, okay, so I got 3, that's 4 down. Where should they spawn? And I would predict it. And then like, but this is 3 years ago, chat. I was studying the game 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I was studying the game. And I did that every single day. Every single day, until I got to a point where I was comfortable with a mini map. And again, it just takes time. So when people look now, they're like, oh, like, you're a good map awareness. Like, I had terrible everything. And I want you to look at this. Like, I actually had to really, really study the game every single day to get to a point where I was confident. But before that, like, I wasn't confident. I wasn't good at the game. I would have to do that. This was daily, by the way. I did every single day a video, every single day. Chat, look what level I was in, okay? I was in Crimson. This is the point, bro. It took me 3 years almost. And that's not good. Some people are like, that's terrible. It probably is terrible. But chat, I was in Crimson in solo queue in then Modern Warfare 2. And it took me all the way from Modern Warfare 2 to now to Black Ops 6 to solo queue to Iridescent. That's my duo right there. You know what I'm saying? That's my duo, Big Sifu. But look at that, chat. So I was in Crimson lobbies and I was every day studying, getting better. And it looks like this in the moment. Like, this is your graph of progression. It looks like this. You're like, you don't feel like you're getting better. But then when you look back after 6 months or a year, you're like, oh my God, I was there. I'm actually good now. But in the moment, this doesn't feel like a lot. But it's just about compound. Just do it daily. Just get better and better. My last bit of advice I would say, chap, is I used to do this all the time. I would literally play on the train to gym. I would, let me just have this in the background. On my way to gym, chat, what I would do, way to work, I would have a YouTube video like this of my own gameplay and watch it back. I would just watch it back. Or I would, when I was at the gym, let's say I was doing cardio, I would watch like Optic Texas versus FaZe. Like, I would study the game and it helped because I was obsessed with it. So that's kind of my biggest thing, chat. If you are like, you need to do the boring stuff, okay? Shoot bots and VOD. Those are the two I would say boring, okay? Bots, VOD. Those are the two boring stuff. If you can make them fun, you're chilling. Because I don't care what level you, I don't care. The more you do this, the more you will see results. It doesn't matter if you are bronze or iridescent. The more you do this, the more you will fine tune your gameplay. Because it isn't about being fancy. At the end of the day, what it comes down to is who is making less mistakes. Okay, that's what Call of Duty comes down to. That's what most things come down to. Most things comes down to who makes less mistakes in competition. And when that happens, the more you do that, the less you're going to make mistakes. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys for another one later on today. Peace.